Hey, what's going on, you guys? I'm going to do a short, this is actually going to be a short follow-up video to my home automation video that I did a few days back. That video was about 49 minutes long, so pretty detailed. Not really that detailed in regards to, what I go into, but just kind of a generalized overview of everything that I'm currently controlling in the house and what you're capable of controlling in the house. But I did get a handful of messages asking me to do a video that's a little bit more in depth on the scene setup and how the scenes are programmed and how they can function and what you can do. So what I'm going to do is I'll generate, I don't have any devices to add. I'll go through the process of what it takes to add a device. Once that's in the system, then how you can create a scene to control those devices. So let's jump in here. I'm going to go ahead and connect, switch my camera views. So I'm going to go ahead and connect into my controller. It shows the connection status is okay. It's a beautiful 33 degrees outside today. So when we connect into the controller, again, you land on the dashboard. There's your landing page. So the devices tab here on the left is where you'll actually add devices. So I went over current devices that I already have, but if you wanted to add a Z-Wave device into your controller, you just click the button that says add device. They give you some categories for Z-Wave devices: alarms, appliances, cameras, dimmers. So if you choose the lights and dimmers, it actually shows you by brand. Aeon Smart Switch for energy modules. There's a Jasco outdoor module with a manufacturer's part number. So sometimes you can just look for that, or sometimes you can just search for something like that 45604 number for that outdoor module. Say you see that on the Z-Wave device that you purchased. When you search for it to add it to your network, you'll see that it's already listed as a module that you can add. There's their lamp module. Sometimes when you search for something and it doesn't come back as a result as a device that's listed in any of these categories, you can still set it up as a generic Z-Wave device. So when you choose this is where you're going to get ready to pair the device that you have. So I'm going to use the example. It's an outdoor module that plugs into an outlet that you can use outside for controlling lights and devices. So what you would do is you plug that into a power outlet somewhere near the Vera controller, and you click on next, and then it tells you if the device requires assembly. Read that manual, follow the assembly instructions there, and then power the device up. So now the device is plugged in. You click next. At this stage of the game, it says pair your device. So up above it says add, remove, add new devices now. So on most Z-Wave devices, actually all Z-Wave devices have a button that you're going to press just once. Normally you just click it once, and what will happen is this screen will then all of a sudden switch and tell you that it's found the device that you want to add to the network. It's not going to happen now because I'm not adding anything to my network. But when it does, it goes to the next screen, and it says, okay, what do you want to name the device? Well, maybe it's the front door module that I used, front yard module that I used to control the Christmas lights and everything out front. So I named that one Christmas front. And then it says, do you want to add this to a room? Sure. I have a room called front yard because that's stuff that's controlled out in the front yard. Once that's added, that then shows up as a device under your devices tab. If I come back over here, this is going to say, do I want to cancel what I was doing? So then when I look at front yard, oh, look, there's Christmas front. It's what I named it, put it in the room that I wanted it to go into. It's currently off. So that's how you add devices. So super easy. Thermostats, locks, lights, sensors, all of it. It's the same process. You just add it on that screen, press a button on the device once it has power, finds it, what do you want to name it what you want, put it in a room. And then the device can be controlled individually again. You don't need a scene to control it. You can just open up the Vera app on your phone, and that app allows you to see the devices and control them independently in the app. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up my phone on my screen so you can actually see that process. So hold on one second. Okay, so this is the Vera app on my iPhone. So again, it kind of loads your shortcuts, kind of like your dashboard a little bit. You have your tab at the bottom for favorites and then alerts. But if you hit the little lines up the upper left corner, you can go to your devices, and then again, there's all the devices that I see inside of the web browser, my Chrome browser that we're currently using for the demonstration. So all of these are controllable from your phone. So you just press, certain things, lock, unlock, check the status of sensors. I can see kitchen doors currently closed. It's disarmed because I'm here in the house. Master bedroom light is off. Master door sensors disarmed, but it is closed. If it's armed, that little icon where it says master door sensor to the left of that, it would be red that it's opened or armed. So, but again, this is the mobile app. So you can from anywhere in the world, from your phone, you can control any device that's in your home network. And you can also run your scenes from here too. You can run the scene. The little pencil shows that you can actually edit that scene or delete the scene. The plus at the upper right corner means that you can actually create a new scene from your phone to do specific things. So, but that's the mobile app. So let me go ahead and get back to my other screen here. So we're going to jump into scenes here. These are the scenes that I've already got programmed to do things throughout the days. Some of them don't run on a schedule. They're just there because they have multiple things in that group that I can call a scene, so it does numerous devices at once. So if you click up here in the upper right corner, it says add scene. So the first step is to select a trigger. So select the device that will trigger activation of this scene. So you can say when a specific device does something, you can have it then do something. An example of that is it says whenever, if you do select device and say it's the garage door sensor. So I'm going to choose that one. So whenever the garage door is armed and opened, you can choose that as the option. Whenever the garage door is armed and closed, whenever the garage door is opened, whether it is armed or disarmed, whenever the garage door is closed, whether it is armed or disarmed, when battery level goes low, so you get notifications that the battery and that sensor is going low, or whenever the garage door is being tampered with. So for this example, I'm going to say whenever that garage door is opened into the house, whether it's armed or disarmed, so it'd be this option here. I'm going to validate that add scene. So that's the trigger. Whenever the garage door is open, whether it's armed or disarmed through the security system, you can add numerous triggers, but I'm just going to use this one here. So next step is, what do you want to have happen? What devices are going to do what? So you can choose specific devices that say, turn on a light, set the thermostat to whatever temperature you want, open shades, closed shades, so on and so forth. And here, I don't want it specifically to control any of the devices. I'm just going to maybe send myself an alert notification. So I'm going to leave device actions null with nothing in it. So I'm going to go to the next step. When this scene runs, notify these people. So I'm going to say notify these people, loads the users. I can click me. I can click my wife, click done. This is where it asks what room do you want to put it in. The garage door is part of the house, so I say house. And then you give it a name. Garage door open, send notification. They're limiting me on how much I can type. So garage door open, send alert. Click finish. So now if you look inside of house, they're alphabetical. So I've got garage door open, send alert. It's never been ran yet. But right now, if I were to go over to my garage door into the house and open that door, it would send a push notification to my cell phone through the Vera app. So look at the notification at the top that it's updating its configuration info. Startup is successful. So again, that's just creating an alert-based notification based on the action of a device. So I do use this for the door. It's called door alerts. So in that one, I state if any of these doors or windows are open, I have a Z-Wave doorbell chime that plugs into an outlet. So I say if any of those doors are opened, to have that doorbell chime make a noise. So I know that that window, like sitting in here, if someone came in the front door, I would hear that beeping sound. So that's what that door alerts does. So I don't want that alert because I don't want to get notified every time we're going in and out of our back garage door. So I'm going to delete that scene. So that is gone. I'm going to add one more scene here to kind of add, you know, some more options to it. So now maybe you want something that's based on a schedule. And this is typically what most people use the scenes for. I want to turn lights on and off at a particular time. So we're going to say it's based on a schedule. What's the interval? You can run every day. You can run it weekly on specific days of the week. Monthly, we'll just run it once at a specific time. So this is going to be daily. Maybe you want a scene that turns your porch light on and maybe a couple of lights in the house when at dusk, you know, when the sun goes down. So I'm going to do a trigger instead of it based on time based. I'm going to use these options here at sunset, or you can do it before or after. So I'm going to say at sunset every day, validate that trigger. So that's the only trigger I want. When the sun goes down, what are we going to do? So we're going to actually control some devices this time. So I'm going to choose the devices that I want to come on. So you come in here and I say porch light. In the game room, we have that poker light. In the great room, we have Edison. Just what I name things. You can name them whatever you want. Christmas tree we named it the Grinch. But those are the only three things I want. The porch light, light in the game room, light in the great room. So once you get all those chosen, you click next. And it says, okay, so what do you want to happen at that time of day? So on sunset, porch light's going to come on. We want that light to come on. We want that light to come on. This one's a dimmer. This one's not. That's just an on-off switch. But this one's a dimmer, so you can choose at what brightness do you want that light to come on to. So I'll say 50%. You validate that step. Once you've done that, you click next. Typically, when I create a scene, I don't do anything in these options here. I really don't care. So I'm going to use house because it's kind of a general thing, and we're going to call this normally in the descriptions you want to make sure you include the devices that are in it so you actually know what it is that's getting controlled. So you can say porch, poker, Edison at dusk. Click finish. So inside house now we've got this new scene, porch, poker, Edison at dusk. It hasn't ran yet, but it is scheduled. Because I did a schedule, you'll see once it does its update up here, or I might have to refresh the browser here in a minute. There it goes, running the Lua startup. It'll kind of get through this little process, and then when you come down and look at the item, there it is. So it shows the next scheduled runtime. So this knows that based on your location, that sundown is 5:15 p.m. tonight. So I could have set it for 5 or 5:30 based on time, but the problem is your sun up and sundown changes throughout the year. So you'd constantly be coming into the program to reprogram the time because now the lights are turning off too soon or they're coming on too soon. So it's best to use, for these types of instances, a sundown, sunset, or sunrise, because this value will automatically change. So tonight at 5:15 p.m., that's our sundown. That's when porch light, the poker light, and the Edison light will automatically come on. So and then you create an additional scene to turn them off. So you can set, I'll do another scene with the reverse. So add a scene. We're going to go based on a schedule. We're going to do it daily. But at this point, I don't want to do it at dawn because I don't want the lights to stay on all night long. So maybe at 11 p.m., validate that. So I'm going to add my devices. So select the same devices. Well, porch light I want to stay on all night, but poker and Edison, I'll validate those two. I want them off, and this one off. So validate, give it a room, house. It's an irrelevance. You can put it in any room. It's not going to change the way it runs. But then you can say Edison, poker, off, 11 p.m. Finish. So now what that'll do is it's added that scene, Edison poker off 11 p.m. It'll update here, and it'll actually say 11 p.m. because that's when I scheduled it. You can manually run these if you want, right here in the program from your phone. But at 11 p.m., those lights will automatically turn off. So adding devices and creating scenes are fairly straightforward. So and that was, I think, with my past video, I didn't put a whole lot of detail into this, how you create a scene, what goes into it. So I'm going to delete that one because I don't need it, because I already got stuff that does that. I'm going to delete this one because I don't need that scene, because I've already got scenes doing those things. And then the other one is if you go to add scene, it's manual, so you can just set up a manual trigger. You validate it, and that one will it'll only run when you press a button on your phone or on the computer screen. So, but that's the extent of setting up a scene in the Vera controllers. If you have any questions, if you're trying to set something up like this and you're having any problems figuring it out, feel free to message me and I'll see what I can do to help. Sometimes it's a little bit hard to provide any kind of support through messaging because, I mean, you may have a device that doesn't detect or add to the network, and I mean, I've never had that happen, but I've read some horror stories of people having it happen. So, but if you're looking at automating your house, this is the best route to take. So, hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you next time. And I hope you have a happy Thanksgiving tomorrow.